ناظرین السلام علیکم، آپ دیکھ رہے ہیں پروگرام پرسپیکٹیو نقطۂ نظر اویس اقبال کے ساتھ جیو ٹی وی پہ. ناظرین، ہر صدی میں ہمارے درمیان جو ہے وہ ایسے لوگ موجود ہوتے ہیں جن کو ہم ہیرو کہتے ہیں، اور ہماری خوشی ہے کہ کینیڈا میں ہم یہاں پہ آباد ہیں، جو کہ ٹرو میٹروپولیٹن سوسائٹی ہے، اور ہمیں دور جانے کی ضرورت نہیں. ہمارے درمیان ہی ایسی شخصیات موجود ہیں جو بالکل جو ہے وہ تعداد میں کم ہوتی ہیں، لیکن دنیا بھر میں ان کا نام ہوتا ہے، جن کو ہم ہیرو بھی کہتے ہیں، جن کو ہم لوگوں کی وائس بھی کہتے ہیں. اور مجھے بڑی خوشی ہے آج میرے شو میں موجود ہیں جین آگسٹین، ڈاکٹر جین آگسٹین، one of the biggest name in this world when it comes to social advocacy, when it comes to politics, when it comes to speaking about the rights of people, whether it's black people, whether it's immigrants, whether it's refugees. So many accomplishments that this individual has on her belt, and I'm so glad to welcome her to my show here tonight. Alongside we have the Canadians of Pakistani origin filmmaker Fahim Hamid, who is releasing his documentary STEADFAST to cover the story of Jean Augustine, the messenger and the message. So it's my pleasure to have you, Jean, and Fahim Hamid on my show today. So maybe I'll start with Jean, you first. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself, you know, where you come from and what brought you to Canada, and a little bit about yourself for our audience.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so pleased and honored to be on your show this evening and to have an opportunity to talk about the documentary that we put forward, and to tell a little bit about myself, my story as it was. I was born in Grenada, one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean. It's known as the Isle of Spice. I grew up in an extended family situation with many cousins and aunts and other relatives around. Children were the center of activities in the village, as it were. And we were loved, we were nurtured, we were cared for. At the same time, the bottom line was education is the important thing. Whatever you do, get yourself an education, because that's the only way. And my grandmother had an expression, to raise the family's nose. And I never knew what that meant as a child, but great emphasis on education. And so I went through elementary, got scholarships that took me into high school, and came out from a very colonial British system with Oxford and Cambridge overseas school certificate, A-levels.
Yeah.
And took the opportunity to come to Canada on a very special program that there was between Canada and the Caribbean to help the employment issues of young women. When I left high school, there were only 3 or 4 avenues open to me for employment. You could be a teacher, you could be a nurse, you could be a civil servant, you can work in a department store, but those were the opportunities. We did not have post-secondary education at the time in Grenada, so one had to go away. And of course, the families put monies to send their sons away, and so the boys were going to England, were going to Edinburgh, were going to universities all over the United States and even to Canada. But as a girl, I didn't have the opportunity. But the domestic scheme gave me that opportunity. It said, if as a young woman you wanted to come to Canada and you want to work in the home of a Canadian family for 1 year, we'll give you landed immigrant status. So that was the opportunity I took to come from Grenada to Toronto.
And which year this was?
That was 1960.
1960. I wasn't even born.
You
in
weren't
1960s. Wow, that's wonderful. I have many more things to ask you, but maybe Fahim, I'll ask you, what prompted you to conceive this documentary project?
Well, I had the honor and the opportunity to meet Jean Augustine about 18 years back. And this was at a function where one of my paintings was being presented probably to the Ministry of Culture. And Jean Augustine at that time was a minister, and she was present at the function there. And then when I went up the stage, I said hello to her, and she smiled and everything. And then, the exchange of the painting was presented. That picture was taken and it was sent to various publications and it was published. Mm-hmm. So I kept that picture. I kept on thinking about that, someday I'll meet her maybe. So that picture, that clip is in my house, framed for last 17, 18 years. And then 4 years back when I met Jean again, when she came to my house, I showed her that thing. So you see, so it's God's will of connecting people like this. And in between, I had obviously learned a lot about Jean, and learning that she's part of the curriculum also, and quite a few people I met, they knew about Jean Augustine. So the process was on, but on her first, I think, 80th birthday, when I had a real chance to go and meet her, attend that function with Dr. Dilkush Panjwani, and then there I met her, and then I met so many other people also. And I spoke about Jean. So I was given this vision, given this idea, so that we could, document her life, celebrate her life and times. And then, as a filmmaker, obviously I started thinking, and then, most of our work is done on the couch. We don't go to an office. So I was just lying down, and then suddenly, and it's true, I'm not making up this thing. It came to my mind that what name should I give to this documentary if I do this? So this was about 3 months after her birthday. And then I kept on brainstorming I normally brainstorm with friends and ask them for names, but I did it, within myself only. And then I said, okay, STEADFAST, 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 the one who stood like this.
Yes.
And that was the name when the name came to my mind, and I made it sure that I will only work around this name. And this name was not derived from any website or any Google search or anything. It just came right from my mind and from my heart. That steadfast she was and she is. So that prompted me to do the project, and we started talking about it. I went to her Jean Augustine Center, looked at what she was doing, and started talking to her initially and gathering all the information. And then the whole thing started, writing, the scripting, the screenplay, and then so on and so forth. And then the filming started. And then again, at the later part of the interview, I'll tell you where we went, what we did.
Yes. Yes, so we're so proud of Jean and her accomplishments, and I'm really looking forward to watch this documentary. So when is this documentary is being released?
We are hopefully, God willing, going to be releasing and doing the red carpet premiere on 2nd of April at the Scotiabank Theatre downtown here in Toronto, and it will be followed up by several premieres within Canada and across the globe also. We're planning to do something in St. George, Grenada, where she came from, and we're going to be doing something big there. And then we're going to be showing it most probably in Brussels, in Europe also. And here also locally, places like York University and the Jean Augustine complex in Vaughan. If you know that Vaughan has given her the key to the city, and she has the key to the city of Vaughan, and Jean has chair named after her at the York University, and Jean Augustine Park, and Jean Augustine School in Brampton.
Jean everywhere.
Jean is everywhere.
Jean is everywhere. So your accomplishments, your advocacy, the way you uphold all the, the things that you did for people, those who are looking for a representative, the voice, that's all basically carrying your name everywhere. Jean, I'll come to you. The question I have, Fahim spoke about the name of the documentary, STEADFAST, and then this, the further it continues, it says the messenger and the message. So my question to you is, what is your opinion? What's most important, the messenger or the message, or both?
Well, both. I threw those that messenger and message to Fahim when they talked about STEADFAST, and how that came about. I was the minister for multiculturalism. Remember that Canada stepped out and said, 40 years ago, before any other country. We are multicultural, we're multiracial, we're multi-ethnic, we're multi-religious. This is the society that we are. We are a mosaic. And I remember, as a minister, going to a meeting in Europe with European parliamentarians, huge room, big tables sitting around with other ministers, talking about Canada and talking about Canadian society and the mosaic and the multicultural nature of Canadian society. And one European parliamentarian said, when it was his turn to speak, he looked over at me and he said, Canada, the messenger, and the message. Because the mere fact that I was an immigrant, that I was a Black woman who had come to Canada, who was, and I was carrying the message of what Canada's society was about. So I was giving the message, but you just had to look at me and see my rank and see my place in the society and see me as the message, exemplifying what Canadian society is, could be, should be, ought to be. And so this messenger and message rang out with me at the time.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. And viewers, eventually you all will get to see this documentary, this wonderful documentary, but I will have the pleasure to see this in Scotiabank Theatre, as Fahim mentioned. But I want to show you a trailer, a clip of this documentary, and then we'll take a break. And once we come back from the break, we'll continue our conversation. Please stay with us.
I've been given this extraordinary honor to congratulate, to thank, to big up this astonishing person, this nonpareil, this titan, this extraordinary daughter of the Caribbean. The Caribbean as described as the rusted Caribbean. And by heavens, she has filed that rust off those rotten ships at the bottom of the Caribbean Sea, and they shine like the sun. I need to say who I'm talking about. I'm sure you know.
Where do I begin? From Happy Hill to Parliament Hill, and to the relations and the supporters and the good people.
We always have so much to talk about. I'm here in the camps. This is Hamudi. He's 2 years old, and he's got his loaf of bread. Look, he's looking after his family. This is the loaf of bread that he's going to take back to his family. Can you believe it? At this age, guys, they're looking after their parents. This is someone that I want to take care of here, guys. Hamudi, Habiz? MashaAllah. Donate now, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ayoun & Sabia Lawyers is a full-service law firm. We provide legal services in real estate, immigration, and family law. Our firm offers prompt service to clients and a range of appointment options, online, teleconference, or in person. Our spotless reputation has landed us with awards. We seek to understand each one of our clients with compassion, efficiency, and full knowledge. This is our way of doing business. We are one call away, 905-232-2793.
Are you purchasing a new home, looking to get a new mortgage, or renewing your existing mortgage? Kamran Qureshi is here to guide you through the mortgage approval process to get you the lowest available rates in the market. Kamran specializes in residential mortgages for primary or investment properties, refinancing for debt consolidation, serving the community for 17 years. For best mortgage rates and trusted advice, call Kamran Qureshi today at 647-280-6663.
ہمارا رویہ اور طرز عمل دونوں جنم لیتے ہیں ہمارے احساسات اور جذبات سے، جو وجود پاتے ہیں ہماری سوچ اور نقطۂ نظر سے۔ مثبت سوچ رکھنا اور ہر معاملے میں نقطہ فہم ہونا بنتا ہے باعث انسانوں اور معاشروں کے درمیان اچھے باہمی تعلقات کا اور برداشت کا۔ تو آئیں شامل ہو جائیں مثبت سوچ کے اس سفر میں۔ دیکھیے پروگرام نقطۂ نظر اویس اقبال کے ساتھ صرف جیو ٹی وی پر۔ Welcome back and thank you for staying with us after the break. And today we're talking about this documentary film which is being released on April 2nd, 2022. STEADFAST, The Messenger and the Message. Canadian of Pakistani origin filmmaker Fahim Hamid Ali producing this film and is releasing on April 2nd. And we are having discussion around this documentary, the accomplishments and the achievements of Jean Augustine, and talking about this documentary. Fahim, I'll come to you. What outcome you're expecting from this film? Let's say people, those who are watching here in Canada, across the world, what do you want to achieve from this documentary?
First of all, going back to Jean's comments about that parliament member in Europe pointing at her and saying, here's the messenger and the message. You see, we are not talking about the Black History Month here. We're not talking about the rights of the Black. We are talking about Jean's message, which is Canada's story. Jean is Canada. We are talking about pluralism. We are talking about togetherness. We're talking about that beautiful mosaic Canada speaks about. So she is giving that message. It's not only about her. It's not only about her community. It is about Canada. It's about celebrating the great Canadian values. And Dr. Jean Augustine started her, she was, I think, 20 years or 21 years of age when she came here, and then her dreams to become an educator and to go and teach, and then she became a teacher and a vice principal and a principal, and then so on and so forth, and the journey continued. So this entire time period has something, it has a story. It's not only about Jean, it's about the message. And this message kept on going abroad on different platforms, on different forums everywhere. And that's the reason, if you trust me, I was talking to somebody in Pakistan and I said Jean, and they knew who Jean was. Wow. If you trust. I spoke to Cindy Bishop in Thailand, the human rights activist, and she knew Jean Augustine. So we know that there are people, and we just need to be sending out this message. Jean's message is not local, it's international.
It's international, it's inspirational, and it's, as I say, every century has people like Jean Augustine, and Canada is so blessed to have Jean living here, coming from the island of Grenada, but Canada is benefiting more probably than your hometown, and we are so happy to be, living in Canada. And when your name is taken and when this documentary is going to be released, it's going to be everywhere. Jean Augustine, the messenger, the message, the Canada name is going to be there. So I'll just ask you one question. Fahim talked about this is not Black History Month. This is something big we're talking about on an international scale. But we remember when you proposed the resolution for Black History Month, and now we simply see people, immigrants coming to Canada from different parts of the world. We observe, we celebrate Black History Month. What the impact of that resolution you see, fast forward these many years?
Well, I think that my story is the immigrant story. My story is a story of every immigrant, every refugee, every person who come to Canada as a way of making a life for himself, herself, for their families. And I think this is what the story is, that you come to Canada, you're prepared to work hard, you're prepared to see the opportunities, you're prepared to work with others and for community, and see this as a global place where we can all come from different parts of the world, all as immigrants, sharing and being guests of our indigenous peoples who've allowed us to come here, be on the land, work hard, and reach our full potential. So that is really my story. And the issue of Black History Month and my motion in Canada that created Black History Month spoke to the fact that as an educator, as a teacher, I saw nothing in the textbooks, in the modules of the social studies programs that I was teaching that taught me anything about indigenous people, about land claims, about residential schools, about different groups of indigenous peoples as they scattered around. Nothing was in the textbooks. I saw nothing about African Canadians, nothing about Black people who came, who settled, who were part of the building of Canada. And so that motion called on the Parliament of Canada to designate February as Black History Month in Canada so that we can learn about each other, we can learn about ourselves. Because the history of Black people in Canada, just as the history of Pakistani people in Canada or the history of any group in Canada, is really Canada's history. It's all of our history. And so it's important for us to know that history. And this was really my motivation to put that motion to make sure that this is celebrated, that we realize the good things and the not so good things, the negative things and the positive things that have happened to people over the years as they struggle through Canadian society.
Awesome. That's very well said. And, you know, Jean, after having been blessed this much and having accomplished these many things in your life, is there anything, you feel, there is still, I want to do this, anything that you feel that is left out there for you?
Well, I strive. When I came to Toronto, was a different place when I came in 1960. And I keep saying this over and over. We had no Charter of Rights and Freedom. We had no Human Rights Code. So you could complain when things went up. We had no voices on radio. We didn't have radio like yours around. You had to have the proper accent in order to get a job in radio. The faces on television are not what they are today. There was no Landlord and Tenant Act. There was no school board talking to parents. There were no police community. So we had to be activists, be advocates, and push to make sure that the political systems responded. And so that's where my activism and my advocacy came from. So when you ask what else is there, we still have a long way to go. We're not where we could be. We're not where we should be. We have things that crop up every so often. Just when we think we've overcome something, then something else crop up. Islamophobia against Chinese, and over we see racism rising and showing its ugly head. And so when you ask where else and what is, we still have to work at how we can live as a people, how we can bring people from the margins to the center, how we can make our society truly, truly inclusive. Yeah. Truly inclusive. And how we can make sure that all the gender issues are adhered to and all the legislation and things that we put. We're very good in Canada at doing consultations, at writing papers, at doing the surveys, collecting the data, collecting the information. But we need a lot of implementation so we could move towards this fair, this just, this equitable, this equal and diverse, inclusive society that we all want.
Very good. Thank you so much, Jean, for speaking with us. It was wonderful. Fahim, can you tell me post this premiere, post this, big theater launch of this documentary, how people are going to view or watch this documentary after April 2nd?
We will be announcing quite a few forums there where they could watch it. And secondly, for the locals, I would say across Canada, is going to be on quite a few local channels as well. And it's going to be everywhere. So, but we have different schedules, which is going to be like stretch over a time period of 3 to 4 months. So it's not, everything's not shown at one time and then people don't get it. So people will be getting it on the website also. Hopefully it's going to go to the district school board, the part of the curriculum also, as part of the libraries also. It's going to go to the York University. Jean has an amazing stock of that archival footage and their archival things at York University, which I have seen personally, and it's unbelievable. We have 240 video clips of Jean Augustine there at the York University, and there's so many other things. We had the chair she used to sit on in the Parliament. We have her robe she wore in the Parliament. Dr. Jean Augustine. I was surprised that when I met her, she didn't say Dr. Jean Augustine. It's very rare when she introduces herself as Dr. Jean Augustine. But Dr. Jean Augustine, if Ovais, you know that she has 7 doctorate degrees, honorary and her own. And so we are blessed.
We are certainly blessed, and I'm
really glad. And what you said earlier, that, compared to her own birthplace, Canada, where she came as an immigrant, is benefiting more than, her own country. And the story and the message is very simple. Like she said, if we try to, push something back, it's just like, when you go to Chuck E. Cheese and you see this game where heads are popping up and you have to hammer it. And when you hammer one, the other one comes up. And then when you hammer the other one, something else comes up. So these things they're the cropping. We got to be very, very vigilant till the time. It will not be full accomplishment till the time we really do away with all these things. Racism, color, gender, Islamophobia, and all these things, and make it real Canada, the beautiful fabric of Canada.
Very good. No, God bless you more and more, Jean Augustine, Dr. Jean Augustine, and also Fahim Hamid Ali. And it was truly a pleasure to speak to both of you, and I'm looking forward to meet you at the Scotia Center on April the 2nd. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you. And viewers, thank you for watching, and hopefully you like this show, and I'll see you next week with another topic. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.
دیکھیے آواز ٹی وی لائیو تمام IPTV باکسز پر پاکستانی یا اردو سیکشن میں، یا ہماری ویب سائٹ وزٹ کیجیے eawaz.com.
I'm here in the camps. This is Hamid. He's 2 years old, and he's got his loaf of bread. Look, he's looking after his family. This is the loaf of bread that he's going to take back to his family. Can you believe it? At this age, guys, they're looking after their parents. This is someone that I want to take care of here, guys. Hamid, Habiz? MashaAllah. Donate now, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ayun & Sabia Lawyers is a full-service law firm. We provide legal services in real estate, immigration, and family law. Our firm offers prompt service to clients and a range of appointment options, online, teleconference, or in person. Our spotless reputation has landed us with awards. We seek to understand each one of our clients with compassion, efficiency, and full knowledge. This is our way of doing business. We are one call away. 905-232-2793.
Are you purchasing a new home, looking to get a new mortgage, or renewing your existing mortgage? Kamran Qureshi is here to guide you through the mortgage approval process to get you the lowest available rates in the market. Kamran specializes in residential mortgages for primary or investment properties, refinancing for debt consolidation, serving the community for 17 years. For best mortgage rates and trusted advice, call Kamran Qureshi today at 647-280-6663.